Have you ever moved to a new country and felt like your connection to your original language or culture start to fade? That's something I've thought about a lot, and recently I watched a presentation by Esther Lee that really hit home. In her presentation, Esther talks about something called first language loss or L1 loss. It's what happens when people, especially immigrants, slowly lose their ability to speak their first language. This is something that often happens when you move to a place where your first language isn't commonly spoken, like moving from a country where you spoke Mandarin or Spanish to a place like Canada where everyone around you speaks English. Astor explains that there are two key ideas here, acculturation and enculturation. Acculturation means adapting to the new culture you live in. That includes learning the new language, like English, and picking up new traditions or habits from the people around you. And on the other hand, enculturation is about holding on to your heritage. It's about staying connected to the values, tradition, and language you grew up with. So, in a way, there's this push and pull between blending into a new place and preserving where you come from. To explore this further, Astor did a study with 177 university students. They took part in surveys that measure how well they know English, how much they had adapted to Canadian culture, and how much they stayed connected to their original culture. They also did a Zoom session to test how good they were at speaking both English and their first language. The results were really interesting. People who were more acculturated, meaning they were more adjusted to Canadian life and spoke English more, tended to have lower skills in their first language. But at the same time, their English was really strong. Meanwhile, people who stayed more connected to their home culture had stronger skills in their first language, but their English wasn't quite as strong. One thing I found surprising is that living in a multi generational household, like with your parents and grandparents, didn't actually have a strong effect on keeping your first language. I always thought that if you lived with people who spoke your language at home, it would help you keep it. But the study didn't show a big difference there. So it turns out it's more about how you choose to stay connected to your language and culture. This topic really made me think. A lot of us are focused on fitting in, learning the language, making friends, understanding the culture of a new place. And that's important. But sometimes, in doing all that, we start to lose touch with where we come from. We stop speaking our first language or we feel like it's not useful anymore. But Esther's presentation is a reminder that our first language is a part of who we are. It's more than just communication, it's our identity, our family, our culture, and our past. So, what can we take away from this? I think it's about balance. It's amazing to learn a new language like English and become part of a new culture. But we shouldn't feel like we have to give up our roots in the process. Keeping your first language alive through music, stories, talking with family, or even writing can help you stay grounded in who you are. Astor's message is clear. Learning the dominant language is necessary, but holding on to your own language and culture is just as valuable. Don't be afraid to be both, adapt and belong, but also remember and preserve. Maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much.